In this video I will be repairing a JPEG that's affected by stop ransomware. Now I get these requests very often. Can you show me how to do it for stop variant X with extension Y? For all stop ransomware affected JPEG files, the procedure is exactly the same. So it does not matter if you have, it does not matter what variant you have, what extension you have. If it's encrypted using online or offline keys, that all does not matter. So what I'm about to show you in this video, you can apply. It applies to any stop ransomware encrypted JPEG file. So this video is intended to show you how to do it. So basically, if you watch the video and download JPEG-Repair, you can do it yourself. That's the idea. If you want to save the repaired files, you will actually have to buy the software. So that's one thing I wanted to mention. The other frequently asked question is, or remark is, people telling me I have thousands of corrupt photos. Is this not something that can be automated? No, it's not, because as actual data inside the file is encrypted and therefore lost, there is no automated way to process that lost data. It's like you wrote a letter in a word processor and the first 50% of the text disappeared. The tool cannot automatically handle that, so to speak. So you will basically have to repair each and every file, and each and every file requires manual input. So file by file, I cannot change that. Another frequently asked question is, what is a reference file? Well, a reference file is a JPEG shot with the same camera, with matching as closely as possible as the corrupt file. This is a requirement I cannot do anything about. We need a intact header, and this header needs to contain, for example, the Huffman tables should match the Huffman tables of the corrupt file. And you get those by shooting a JPEG with the same camera and the same settings. You cannot use any JPEG file, it has to be one from that camera. And these settings are important too. I will show you one example of a photo I repaired that I will be repairing in the example in a few minutes. And because I did not have a reference file initially, I just took a reference file from the same camera model, but obviously shot with different settings, because this is the best I can get this image with the reference file I have. I've now received a correct reference file, so that's what I'll be using to repair the photo with. Yeah, can you repair the files for me? I can do that. I offer a JPEG repair service, but it's not free. And I have the same problem as you have when it concerns hundreds or even thousands of files. I have to do them file by file. So I mean, you are welcome to send me 20 or 30 or even 50 photos that you want repaired, but not hundreds or thousands, because it would keep me occupied for weeks. Let me check. Yeah. Okay. So this is what I wanted to mention. And this is basically the final example I will upload, because I'm repeating the same thing over and over again. I will try to explain exactly what I will be doing now. So okay, now we have encrypted files here. It's really a corrupt file. I will show you. I will give it a JPEG extension and then we'll have a look. It's damaged. Okay. I'm going to undo the renaming. Okay, so this is the file I'll be repairing. And I have reference files here. I'll be using this one, I guess. Okay. You fire up JPEG-Repair. You select the patch tool. The patch tool is normally for pictures that can be opened but that look distorted. For these stop ransomware files specifically, I have added this append option, which we'll be using. We go to the corrupt files. This one, I think. Yeah. And we select our corrupt file. We tell append header. Yeah. For this type of repair, I would just make this number 1024. Okay, it will ask us for the reference file. And I would use this one. So select corrupt file, make sure append header is ticked, then select the reference file, and then we click repair. We'll just have to wait until it's done. And then it's done. Now, the thing about the stop ransomware is that it encrypts the first 150 kilobytes. That's not an exact number, but it's close enough. You can see the encrypted data sitting here. This is encrypted data. We can now decode the rest of the image because we used the header of the reference file. So it now has a valid header. We don't need to care about that anymore. To remove this encrypted data, we're going to the start of the file. You get there by double-clicking the byte address. You double-click this to be removed byte number field, and I'm going to enter 150,000 there, which is about 150 kilobytes. We click apply. Okay, the encrypted data is gone. We now need to reload the file. It's because JPEG-Repair can only remove data in one area, and then you need to apply that, and then you go to the next step. Okay, now we want it to look a little better. We go again to the start of the file, and this time we'll make smaller changes. We'll remove bytes until we think the photo looks good enough to be imported in a photo editor, and so we can make some final improvements. It looks pretty good already. I know it doesn't look right yet, but this is something you can fine-tune in a photo editor. You just make sure it's not washed out or too dark. So you can play with this value of bytes you remove. What you can also do is change the position from which we are removing the data. So I can travel a couple of MCUs and see if it makes it better. It doesn't. Well, that's not so bad. But this is tinkering. There is no exact formula on which tells you how many bytes you should remove or add or whatever. You see now it has kind of a greenish haze over it. If you don't like it, you go back here. Maybe we'll go with this. Now, and to move this to the right, you have to stuff bytes. So we're basically, this is where we're removing bytes from, and now we insert bytes. So we push this line of MCUs to the right, which will automatically push the rest to the right as well. Okay. Because we removed bytes here, the encrypted bytes, all the data moved upwards. So now at the bottom of the image we have some this is basically zero data. There's nothing there. So we can tell the header that we want to get rid of that by decreasing the height of the image. Like so, and now it stretches it a little bit, but this is only in JPEG-Repair. And if you reload the image, I will reload it. Then it's no longer stretched now. So, okay, and we want to improve this basically. We want to improve contrast primarily, I guess. This copies the image to the clipboard. You can use any photo editor. This is paint.net. It's free. You can get it at getpaint.net. Edit, paste into a new image. Now, because we have been stuffing zeros in the left upper corner, there is a little piece of not nice there. You have two options. You can cut off the upper row of MCUs, or you can, for example, use the clone stamping tool. You can and clone stamping takes the image data from one area and copies it to the other area. If you have this full, then it will be very ugly, so we don't want to do that. You want to increase opacity. You keep the control key pressed and then click here. So this is our source, and then we can just fill this in. Something like that, just so it looks kind of natural. I used all the level and it looks pretty good, so we're just gonna save this and then save as. So that's it. That's how you can use JPEG-Repair to repair a stop ransomware corrupted encrypted file. And again, it does not matter what extension you originally have there. It does not matter if it's an online key or an offline key. The variant doesn't matter. This is the generic procedure for all JPEG files. I hope this helps, and of course you're always free to ask me questions or advice, but you first try to repair images yourself. I'm not gonna. I get dozens of emails every day. Can you fix one for me so I can see it works? No, if you try it yourself, you can see if it works or not. Basically, I've done it so many times. I know it works. So, well, I hope this helps. Thank you for